Hello and welcome. My name is Joy Benjamin. I am the dietitian with AllCare, and I'm also a personal trainer with AllCare, one of each. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to work on some mobility and some stretching exercises today. These are movement patterns, especially the first set of movement patterns you will be able to do on your own in your office or in your home, in your classroom, whatever space that you happen to be spending a majority of your day in. We purposefully put together some combinations of movements that will do several things for you. So the first set of movements that we're going to work on are movements that wake up your lymphatic system, that wake up your nervous system, that provide some mental clarity, get the blood pumping into your muscle tissues, into your lungs, back into our brain, especially if we're having one of those moments where we're just maybe not focused, sleepy, if you will, in the afternoon or mid-morning. These are movements that you can do also if you happen to be a teacher and you need to get your students out of the desk and moving because they're just not focusing on what you're having to say. These are great movements that you can include your students in too. But at minimum, this is a great time and a great way to get your body moving just temporarily. This is not a full-blown workout, but you can certainly turn this into one by doing this movement pattern over in repetition. So maybe going through the video twice, that would actually complete a nice workout for you and hit a lot of different body postures, definitely different muscle tissues, tendons and lost my train of thought. Tendons and tissues will be stretched in this. So we're going to start with movement patterns that are a little bit unconventional, and that's okay. Sometimes unconventional is what our body's asking us for. We get into the same movement patterns regularly, whether we're people that exercise or not, but certainly in our day-to-day activities, our body is going through the same movement patterns regularly. So it's important that we move in patterns that are outside of that or that are counterintuitive or counterbalancing to our standard patterns. So the first set of 5-6 exercises that we're going to do are really just sort of wake up exercises, movement exercises that are, again, going to help that lymphatic tissue to start draining and reducing some of the buildup that we typically can house in our lymphatic system. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one we're going to do is it's called a squat into an explosive just arm raise. And we're not jumping through this. You're going to do it in the mat in the manner in which your body is comfortable in. So we're just starting with a general squat, raising our arms up over our head, squatting down, raising them up. Now this is a movement that you're going to just do continuously, and you can throw your arms, swinging them up and down. I'm not arching. I'm keeping my torso straight, and I'm just literally hinging at my hips and my knees to form that squat, up and down. Let's do 5 more. Breathe in and out, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just wake things up. Very good. Our next movement is alternating arm swing. So we're just simply standing, keeping our hips loose, our knees loose, and just using the arms to swing back and forth. We're waking up the shoulders for sure. We're waking up the trapezius muscles of the body, which are trapezius muscles are what carry a lot of our stress. They're also the area that we tend to tense more so during the day if we are using a computer an awful lot or a cell phone or bending down, staring at our phones or scrolling too much. So this is a good movement to sort of wake those muscles up and those tissues. And okay, next we have alternating swings, hands to chest. So just kind of allowing your hips, my torso is going to swing and my hips are going to come with me. My knees are going to stay forward, and I'm just going to allow my hands to kind of move freely with me and just twist side to side. Go as far as your body allows you. Remember, this is mobility. Some of us may not have great mobility, and this might be a difficult movement to do, and you may find that your body stops you halfway. That's okay. Go where your body allows you to go. Movement should not cause physical pain, but it should not be totally comfortable. It's okay to be uncomfortable. Our body needs to move sometimes past that uncomfortable state in order for us to get better and improve. All right, let's move into kind of another weird one or different, but we're going to sort of I'm going to just simply bend here at my hips. So you see, I'm not curving my back. I'm keeping my torso straight. My wings are actually what's going to come out. So my hands kind of pretend like you're cradling a baby. Your elbows are coming up around the sides. So your elbows are kind of reaching towards the ceiling, and just move with that. And as you get more comfortable, you can swing a little faster. Again, take those elbows and point them up to the ceiling. Allow your torso to twist and allow your abdominal muscles to stay tight. If you're at work right now just watching me, stand up and try this. It actually is very relieving. All right, a couple more. And there we go. We're good. Okay, next movement. We're going to do knee claps. Very odd, but knee claps are just something that's actually making your hip flexors and your quadriceps work. Your glutes, we're waking up the glute muscle tissue, which is your buttocks, because if many of us are sitting on those for a good part of our day, that's an area that needs more movement. So anytime you're even walking out to your car, walking into a store, walking down the hallway, squeeze your glute muscles as you're walking, and it just kind of keeps waking them up and keeps the strength building in those muscles. Okay, very good. Last, not quite, 2 more. Okay, so this is another squat reach, and we're just simply gonna squat down and reach out and around. Squat down, reach out and around. Let your arms fall out and around, and then you can increase your speed and just go in a level that you're comfortable with and squat to a position that you have comfort with. If you have trouble with your knees, I can appreciate that. Maybe you just stop and you just do the movement with just your arms. We're just waking up this portion of the body from the torso on up. Add your legs if you're capable. Very good. Let's do 2 more. Very good. Okay. Last but not least, keep your legs where they are, about shoulder width, further than shoulder width apart. We're just going to simply do what we call some toe touches. 2 different ways you can do this. One, you can lunge and touch your toe and reach back. Or maybe you just touch your knee because that's what you're capable, and that's where your body stops you, and that's okay too. But if you're able to get to the floor with a little bit of a lunge, please feel free. Let's do 5 more of these. Maybe you hear some snap, crackle, and pop in your body like I do mine. That's okay. And there we go. All right. Those are movements that you can do anywhere you are. You don't need any equipment. You just need your body and your mind space to say, yes, I'm going to do it, to allow yourself to get up and move. And what I've done is, you can hear that I'm a little bit and I didn't even do that for a period of a certain amount of seconds. But I would encourage you that if you're going to try this again, maybe set a timer on your phone or watch the clock if you happen to have one in your office or room, and do those each movement for 30 seconds and watch the dynamic feeling that your lungs fill with air, the blood's pumping through all muscle tissues now. Your brain is definitely more alert and awake and aware. You can become much more productive. Now let's move into some movements that we would call more stretching, stabilizing movements. Stabilizing means I can hold a position for a definitive amount of time. Stretching means I'm actually lengthening the muscles of that particular body part. So we're going to do a combination of those 2 things together. And flexibility means I can get my body into that position. That's what flexibility means. Now, you may have some struggles with some of this like I do, and you're going to see I'm not perfect in this. My balance isn't perfect. My stretching isn't perfect. Those are things that we continue to work on, because as we age, and or if we stop using our body in these different types of systems, we will lose the ability to have that full range of motion and that movement. And when we lose it, it's not easy to get it back, but it does require consistency, and we're all capable of obtaining that. So let's start with something that's seems very simple, but it's not. These are just what we call wall slides. And I'm just going to take my hands, press them up against the wall, the back side of my hands, and I'm going to come all the way up to the top, keeping my hands and hopefully my shoulders pressed up against that wall, and come on back down, and then back up to the top, and do the pace that works for you. And recognize in that process where your body starts to shift and adjust, where you are pulled against or away from the wall. This is a great movement to do. By the way, if you're able, put your heels up against the back of the wall. Your buttocks may or may not be touching the back of the wall. If you can't get your heels all the way back, that's okay. Go back as far as you can. And again, just try to keep the backs of your hands pressed up against the wall. This is our last one. And on back down. Very good. Next is something that's relatively simple. You can do as you're standing in front of the classroom teaching if you want to. You can engage the kids to join you. This is, I'm going to pull my pants so you can see where my feet are. I'm simply going to do a calf raise, drop down, and do a heel raise. Notice when I do a heel raise, my hips protrude out. My torso hinges right here at my hips. I don't curl over, but in order for balance to take place, I've got to stick my buttocks out, if you will. So we're going to do a calf raise, hinge back to a heel raise. Heel raises are not easy. It's completely unconventional. It's counterintuitive to your brain and to your body to stay in that position. So when we talked about stability movements, heel raises are something that you can practice anywhere you are, cooking in the kitchen, cleaning something, watching TV, and practice really holding. We're going to do that now, and hold that heel raise. And look how difficult it is to get your body to really hold position. But it's something great and super simple that we can start working on as adults to really see if we can get that stabilized. Okay, shake that one out. Now we're going to go into some lunging to stretch our inner thighs, our outer thighs, our hip flexors especially, because we do a lot of sitting. So these hip flexors need more mobility and more movement. So we're going to work on some stretches that help. First, feet are much larger, much wider than shoulder width, much wider than your hips. We're simply going to lean to one side. I'm going to go to the left. You can go to the right, whatever's comfortable for you. Keep in mind my torso straight. I'm hinging at the hip only. I'm not coming down here. I'm just getting a gentle stretch through my inner thigh. My feet are facing forward and my hips are facing forward. So if your hips are not, think about that. Put that in your brain to make sure that my hips are not turning, but I'm keeping everything forward facing wall. And as I'm able, I can lean into it. Make sure this knee is not going over the top of my toes, okay? Come back up, or we're just gonna lean right into the next side. Keeping our torso tall in all movements that you work on, no matter what the movement, mobility, strength training, cardiovascular, I don't care what it is. How many people do we see cardiovascularly bent over top of some of those devices, step mills or ellipticals? Keep your torso upright as much as you can. It's amazing for our stability and it's amazing for our skeletal structure. Okay, lunge. We're going to do a front lunge now. I'm going to turn this way so you can see what it's going to look like. We're going to turn this into a yoga pose, which is called warrior. But this is another wonderful thing you can do anywhere, anytime, to just really give your body a good overall stretch. Okay, my leg in a 90-degree angle in front, or if you're uncomfortable with that, bring it up a little bit. It's really okay, whatever your comfort level is. The goal here is we're stretching the foot that's back. So for me, it's the right. We're really stretching that hip flexor, getting down into it as comfortable as we can. And we're going to raise our hands up to our ears and try to keep them as straight as you can. Your right foot is going to be pressing into the floor, which you're going to feel that pull into your hip flexor on the right. 90 degrees, elbows to ears, deep breath, step up out of it. Let's get ready now to take our left foot back. Come down into a 90-degree angle with that right foot. My left foot is pressing towards the floor. My arms are coming up to my ears. Sink down in there. Really feel that stretch in the hip flexor here. Really allow yourself, as you're able, to pull into that hip flexor. Deep breath, blow it out, and step up out of it. There's our lunges, our lunge stretching. Okay, this next one we're going to do asks you to come into a squat position, a full squat position down to the floor. I'm going to show you an alternative. So if you're able to squat down to the floor and hold your hands down here, great, that's wonderful. Good position you can be in. If you're not able to squat down to the floor here, come to this place where you're just kind of maybe like bent over in a huddle, right? Again, my torso is not curved over. My torso remains straight. Always keep it straight, always hinge at the hips. Okay, so I'm in a huddle position, like team huddle, right? I'm gonna just simply take my hands, the insides of my hands on the insides of my knees, and push them open. And allow my feet to move with them, and just give a gentle push so I can feel that stretch on my inner thigh. If I'm good here and I can come down to the floor, fine. Come on down to the floor. Put your hands in the prayer position, torso's flat and straight, and just press with your elbows on the outsides or the insides of your knee, excuse me. And allow your inner thighs to really give a good stretch. Couple deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale it out. Really open your mouth and just let it exhale. Get rid of those toxins and all that buildup and all of that stuff that we collect and contain in ourselves on a day-to-day basis. Okay, we're going to stay in this position. If you need to come up out of it, feel free to come up, give it a shake, and then we're going to go right back down. In our squat position, if you're comfortable down here, we're going to move into just a squat reach. We're going to reach back. We're not reaching up. We're reaching back. We're coming back down. Reaching back, coming back down. Not comfortable in the squat, back in the huddle. Hands on the thighs, gentle, bend to your knees. Reach back, come down. Reach back, come down. Let's do 4 of these on each side. I'm just turning my torso. I'm keeping my spine straight, and I'm just twisting at the waist. I'm reaching with my arm. I'm trying to reach and touch the corner of the ceiling where the ceiling connects to the wall. Let's do 1 more each side. Very good. Okay. Next, we're going to put ourselves into what's called a chair pose. If you've done yoga before, you're familiar with this terminology. In our chair pose, we're going to turn and we're going to stretch our torso a little bit further. So in the chair pose, you're going to squat down like you are a chair. To me, I feel like it's a chair that's tipped forward, but this is a chair pose. Your feet can either be just below your knees, or you can bring them completely together, whatever your comfort level is, whatever your mobility level is. So you're going to be in this chair pose. Bring it into what we call a prayer twist, where we just take our hands together and twist, coming down further so that elbow tucks on the outside of your knee. And then you can open up your arms if you choose to. Reach up to the ceiling and look up and try to take your opposite arm to the ground if you're able. If you're not, that's okay. If you're more comfortable here, stay in the prayer position. If you're comfortable here, release it and twist. And come on out. Let's change to the other side. Take a minute to shake. All right. Chair pose. Bring it to a twist. Elbow to knee on the outside. If you're comfortable here, stay here and do your breaths. Otherwise, open it up. And again, try to reach left hand to the floor, right hand to the ceiling. You can stay there for 4 breaths, for 5 breaths, whatever your comfort level is. We're just going to do a few today to get through this together. Our next position, we're going to do a standing table. In a standing table, we're really working on balance this time. And you may not have great balance on certain sides of your body. It's good to know this, right? but it's an area that you can practice in. So if you find that that's not the case, that is the case that you don't have great balance. Anytime you're doing anything, doing dishes, writing paperwork, trying to think of other things we do, just kind of standing at the counter, anything, you think of it. As you're standing in your day-to-day activities, stand on that foot that you struggle with that balance and just work on balance, work on focus. It'll be intriguing how your brain reconnects differently too. There's a lot of connectivity that's taking place when you're trying to balance. Whoop, and I'm losing it. So those are things that you can be working on outside of what you're doing with this activity. Let's go into a table pose. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work first on my right foot, which is my poor balance. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ground my body into the floor right now on my right foot. I'm gonna take the toe of my left foot, just let it gently touch the ground right now. So I'm really trying to focus on my body weight pouring into my right foot. And then simply lift your leg. And when you're ready, reach behind you with that leg and get yourself into what we call a T position. If you need to grab the floor, grab a chair, grab a wall, do what you have to do. Arms go to the back, so you're kind of sort of flying if you're ready and if you want to try. So first of all, that foot behind you, that foot in the sky, should be in a position where it's pretending it's pushing against the wall. So a flexed foot pushing against the wall, and your hands are going to come up in front of you, and those fingertips are going to reach for the opposite wall. So foot's pushing, fingertips are reaching, balance is stable, right? There we go. And then come on out. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to switch to the other side. Deep breath in and out. Ground yourself with all of your weight on that left foot. The right foot, just the toe is touching. When you're ready, lift your foot, head back. We're in a table position, or a T, I should say. The back foot is pushing against the wall, and my arms are reaching out above my head, pretending they are pushing towards the wall in front of me. Come on out. All right, this next one is called the world's greatest stretch. I don't know if I agree with it, but it certainly is a good stretch. You're going to start in a lunge position. I'm going to lunge with my right foot. My left foot is back. My hands are going to come opposite either side of my feet. This is our starting, or what we call a runner's lunge. Notice my spine is straight. I'm not curved. I'm not hunched. From here, we're just going to simply turn and reach that hand up into the sky. So my right hand is reaching to the sky. My right foot is in the lunge position. My head is turning to look towards the sky that my right hand is reaching towards. And I'm coming back down. Step through and come up, shake that out, and step your right foot back and your left foot is forward. Hands are on opposite sides of the feet. Turn and reach that left hand up to the sky. Turn and reach. You do your best to keep your back leg as straight as you can. If you need to bring it down, feel free to bring it down if that's more comfortable. If you can keep it up, that's wonderful. Breathe in and out. In and bring your arm back down and step through and out. Okay, we're going to bring this down to the floor. We're going to go into a cat-cow pose. If any of you are yogis, you've done these positions before. Our cow pose is when our back, this is the only time I'm going to tell you to allow your spine to curve, but we're going to stretch and curve our spine, tuck your belly button up into your spinal cord. Take a deep breath in. Don't allow your shoulders to drop. Really pull out of those shoulders. And then to a cat position where we're doing the opposite. Let your belly drop, arch your back. Head is going up. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Really release it. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. These feel so good. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. If you do nothing, just try these. Feels fantastic. Okay. From this position, we're just going to go right into a downward dog, and we're going to open our hip up. I'll show you what that means. Downward dog simply means where my toes are, just embed them into the ground. Allow them to pick your hips straight up to the sky. My heels are trying to reach the floor. They may not, and that's okay. They're just trying. I'm pushing my hips to the sky. I'm using my ring finger, my pointer finger and my thumb to put most of the weight for my arms into, and I'm pushing away from the floor. Lift your right leg, bend and open your hip, and just allow yourself to be in this space to keep that hip open and stretch. Let's take a breath. Straighten and come back down. Let's go with the left. Ready? Left leg up. Bend and open that hip. Really open it up. Back up and down. From here, we're coming down, dropping our hips gently and slowly into a cobra. And we're just looking straight ahead. Bend at the arc that you're able to or comfortable with. Let your belly out. Don't tuck your belly. Don't tighten your belly. Let your belly out and allow your spine to curve in this spot. Be careful that you're not down here with your shoulders. Keep that head kind of like a turtle coming out of the turtle shell. Keep it up and forward. Very good. Okay, let's sit back. Very nice. Now I'm going to face you. Still sitting on my bum. Okay, at this point, we're going to do what's called a simple hip stretch. Feet are much wider than hip width apart. We're just going to simply turn and let our hips fall and our knees collapse to the ground. Both knees should be touching or close to touching the ground. And just turn and do the other. Back and forth, kind of like windshield wipers. Really letting your hips collapse as close to the floor as you can get them and feeling that stretch. Now, one thing I'm not doing, I'm not lifting my hips so my knee can get there. I'm keeping my hips on the ground, meaning my glutes, as best as I can, and just allowing the knees to collapse. Let's do 2 more on each side. And 1 more. From this position, let's stay here. We're going to go into a glute bridge. Lay back. Feet are about, I would say, probably 12 inches from your gluteus, from your butt cheeks, if you will. Lift straight up and hold. Glute bridges can be done in many ways. It could be that you just simply sit here and hold this like you would a plank for 15, 30, a minute, whatever works for you. You can certainly do pulses. And at each top, you're really squeezing, like you're truly engaging, not just your glutes, but also your hamstrings. Get those guys involved. We sit on those hamstrings a lot during the day. If you want to advance, put a leg out. Alternate a leg if you want to. Keep in mind, those hips don't move. When I come up here, I don't drop my hip. Keep those hips up. And hold. Let's do a count of 10. 1, 5. Very good. Come on down. Okay. Last but not least, these are called thread the needle. Love these for shoulder mobility. For those of us that carry a lot of our stress in this part of the body, this is a great way to stretch and release some of that. So we're just going to take our hand, Thread it through to the opposite side. Allow your left arm to bend down as your right threads the needle through and then reaches back and up. Threads through, reaches back and up, through, back and up. And really get that threaded through so you are stretching and twisting that torso. Up, one more, up. Let's switch sides. Thread the left through, back and up, through, back and up, through, and back. One more, through, back and up. Very good. I hope some of you completed this with me, or at least tried a few of these movements that we went through today. These are designed specifically for things that you can do quick and easy. Granted, the items that we did on the floor, you're not going to do in your office space outside of your home. But if you have time in the evening, plenty of these movements can be done quickly and easily to get blood flowing, to improve the stability of your body, but more than anything, to keep our body mobile, moving. These are important aspects of longevity, quite frankly, mental clarity. Hopefully, this is something that you will gladly use again. We'll be sending a link out soon. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, there will be a live link that you will have access to. So if you want to review this again, go through the pattern again, like I said in the beginning, feel free to do this video twice if you want to turn it into more of a workout. Maybe that you set a timer for each movement and you set that timer for 30 seconds and you try to work towards doing 30 seconds of each movement pattern. That would be a fantastic workout. And if you're not able to do that 30 seconds, that's okay. Start where you can. What I would encourage is just keep moving. Don't give up. And remember, exercise is not supposed to be easy. You're not supposed to be super good at it. You could see my balance was off. My mobility is not fantastic. Those are things that we keep working on. And when you're doing movements that challenge your body, that's true exercise. Thank you for joining me tonight. Have a good evening.